Consolidation and uncertainty has struck the market, guys. I'm Philip here from BlackBull Markets. Hope you're all doing well. In this video, I want to talk to you guys about a couple of pairs, obviously running through the charts. Once again, a nice market update, but the only difference is we have a whole load of fundamentals coming out. We have Australian news, RBA statement coming out. We have New Zealand rates coming out. We have New Zealand unemployment coming out. We have Bank of England statement coming out. We have obviously the bank rates for UK as well. So obviously the pound pair is going to be uncertain. We have Canadian unemployment coming out as well. And obviously we have US NFP coming out towards the end of the week. And markets are always in any way very uncertain during that time. So we could see some severe deadly trades or deadly moves coming out for an everyday trader here on the market. So let's jump into the charts and see what we have. Now, generally speaking, before these big news events, the markets generally do consolidate, but usually we could have picked it up. We could have, if there's NFP and the US pairs are quiet, we could have usually traded GBP, JPY because that pair tends to move. But we also have UK news coming out as well. So further consolidation on the pairs we usually catch up for if the other one is consolidating. So we'll run through the markets. I've got a couple to look at to see what we could potentially be looking for. Now, this is Euro USD. This is the hourly term time frame. And obviously, without having to think about anything or expect it, we are stuck in consolidation. All right. So a couple of things we need to look for. Usually when this market news does come out, the market does try to push to extremes or use that event to try and break out of these difficult zones. Now, the reason why we consolidate during these news events is because people, they don't really know what to do. They don't know what to expect. A lot of them are waiting for the news to make their decisions. That's why we see uncertainty. We're seeing big, ugly wicks in the market. We're seeing, just disgusting movements in the market where people just do not know what to do. So let's wait for breakouts along these pairs. That's generally what we're going to be waiting for now. Wait for the market to calm down. Perhaps next week will be a better opportunity to look for positions. But again, I'll run through the pairs and see what we have. But Euro USD consolidation, breaks to the upside would be ideal. We can see we can have some nice support / resistance zones coming out. Breaks to the downside could be a good option too. Obviously, we need to start looking at those support / resistance zones. So pop it over to the 4 hourly term time frame. We can have a look. Okay, we have the trend as our friend with this one. So if we do break to the downside, some ideal moves, obviously, using the momentum as the market is still falling, we could use some potential places. Yet, looking to the left, there are no significant targets yet. Let's zoom out, see what we have. Again, daily term time frame, nothing yet. Okay, so there's still a lot of space. We're going to have to look at our higher term time frames to look for more crucial. We have broken weekly support, February 2020. We have broken past that, and the market is still absolutely plummeting. The dollar seems to be strengthening across the board. However, monthly support has now been hit. Okay, this is a crucial place for us to look at. Okay, we do have a lot of strength. So again, we could expect a bit of consolidation now that we've reached this strong monthly support. There's our weekly support that was broken. So we might see a bit of consolidation. Obviously on the lower term time frames, it's not bad if we have monthly consolidation because that is a zone for us to trade in, obviously. So if we look on our lower term time frames very easily, we could look for potential trades. So let's pop over. I want to pop some support / resistance zones on here. See if we can potentially have anywhere to trade in. It's a fairly big zone. Let's drop it down to the hourly, and you guys can see. Actually, I need to go to the 4 hourly because it's a fairly big zone. All right, let's have a look. Let's pull this a little bit tighter. Okay, there we have it. Monthly support, weekly, hopefully turning resistance. We saw it has already played a bit of consolidation, so I'll be using this zone because it is where it's consolidated around that area. So you guys can see we have a significant amount. This weekly monthly support I have at 1.04505, or I would actually say 1.04500. Nice psychological level for the market to look at. So keep that in mind. That's our support. Resistance I'm looking at here coming up, if I can draw my line a little bit straighter, 1.07800 mark zone is a good target. So we have a fairly big zone for this market to trade in if we are looking to trade within the zone. However, guys, there's a lot of strength to the downside. The dollar has really been picking up. Okay, so if we do break this support, this 1.04500 mark zone, we know what we can expect, right? Okay, so always look at the both sides of the picture. Now let's jump onto the other pairs. I'll have a quick look. And obviously the pair that we usually catch on back if there is NFP coming up is GBP JPY. Okay, but this is daily. I can already see on the hourly term time frame what do we have? Consolidation. Pound news. Consolidation is going to be hitting us. I actually did have a position on this. I recently closed it because I traded based on this resistance, hoping for a drop down to this bottom zone. Okay, and I had a sell up here, looking for the market to drop back down, but obviously we smoked got stopped on that support. I'm looking, the support that we kind of stopped on was 162.550. Okay, stopped dead in its tracks right there, started to reverse. So obviously we could potentially be consolidating because there is news. So I'm aware of this as a trader. This is how I use news. I know the market's uncertain. So I decided to just take a small, nice little profit out there, close my position. You know, just pretty much took a 1-to-1 on this trade as it started to reverse. Didn't want to give anything back to the market because I know the current situation we're in. So I'm pretty happy with the trade. I'm expecting this market to be fairly uncertain, very quiet. So I'm not looking for any particularly big moves. And you guys need to understand that as well. If you're into trading, just keep an eye on the news. I'm not using the news to say, oh, I need to buy here or I need to sell here. No, I have no idea what the news event's going to be. I have no idea how people are going to react to it. All I know is there'll be uncertainty in the market because people like me are waiting to see what's going to happen, okay? I don't want to take trades when people don't know what's going on or when there's no decision in the market. When there's decision in the market, we'll get beautiful moves like this. But if there's not, you know, why play around? Why risk it if we don't know or if we have no clue what could potentially happen, okay? So rather, I'm just going to play it safe, wait for it. If it breaks, beautiful. I have a trade back down to 160. I would say 160.900 is a fairly strong support. Let's see if I can draw this line a bit straighter. 164.50. Okay, there we go. Nice support to play into if this market does break back down. And obviously, if we go to the upside, if we break to the upside again, we always have to look at our overall or both sides of the picture. Okay, I'm just going to zoom it out so we can just see the zones. Okay. So what I can see, if we do go to the upside, we have some, I would say these are fairly important, so we need to keep in mind of these support / resistance zones, but I'm more concerned about this lovely resistance coming up. 166.700, nice support zone, resistance zone, sorry. If we do break to the upside, could be a great place to look to. Keep in mind, we do have a little bit of issues coming in the market, but if there's volume for next week and good trading liquidity, I'm sure we can figure something out. Okay, all right, GP/JPY again, consolidating. So let's move on to the next pair. I want to have a quick look. I actually haven't looked at oil in a very long time. Let's quickly actually look at a quick look at CAD here because we have Canadian unemployment coming out. USD CAD, it'll be an interesting pair. Funnily enough, this was not actually consolidating too bad compared to the other ones. We can see we are reaching a pretty crucial support. I'm liking this rejection, to be honest. I'm very, very much liking this rejection. But remember, there is still that news. So even though it might look good, we might not always get, what we want out of the market, okay? Right? So we might have a break in a retest or a zone re-entry. But because there's uncertainty, because it's lacking volume, we might not get our beautiful, strong pushes in the market that we generally see. So we could expect a bit of consolidation to play out a bit. But, there's no reason to take this trade. Remember, guys, we need to understand as a trader, all right, we're following what the market shows us. So at this stage, this market for me is showing me a break in a retest, okay? So for me, really, I'm not going to, if the market gives me an option to take the trade, I'm not going to deny it, okay? I'm not going to turn it away. I'm not going to decide whether this market feels right or feels wrong. The market showed me what to do. It's given me, it's following my rules. I'm going to take the trade regardless. You might see it as a break in entry of the zone. Could be good sales as well. So we're sitting in a crucial zone. So until I get a nice confirmation, either, like I said, a break in reaches to the upside or a re-entry of the zone, I will need to follow my rules and take the trades that I know work for my system. Okay, I can't nitpick because I don't know whether the next trade's going to be a winner, and I don't know whether the next trade's going to be a loser. I just don't know. I cannot make the decision. All I have to do is follow along the market because I've tested my strategy time and time again. Okay, pop on over to oil. I haven't looked at oil in a long time. Oil looks ugly. I'm not going to cover too much time on this. We can see it just, we've got lovely zones to trade into on the lower time frame, but higher. Guys, keep in mind, as we dive into consolidation zones, right, as we dive into these major zones, the longer we stay in here, okay, the messier the market tends to come. Now, you guys might think, why am I not using this? Okay, these are extremities. We did have a beautiful head and shoulders here. I just want to point that out. Pushing to the downside, very nice, very clean, okay? But I'm looking for zones where the market constantly rejects on. So we saw rejection here. Use support, resistance. It could have been a little bit tighter. We have this nice rejection over here. To the bottom, we have consolidation. More consolidation. Candles opens and closes, very important. We had this wick touch over here. So that's obviously my support. Support, $95,600 a barrel. Resistance, I'm looking here at, lights my way, $107,700 or $107,800 a barrel. okay, is that resistance that we're looking at. So if you guys are wanting to look on the lower term time frames, yes, moves within here could be very ideal, okay. So yes, if we want to drop it down to the hourly, maybe you guys can see it's a big zone to trade in. You might have to sit through some uncomfortable positions where we have these consolidation zones, support and resistance zones, right, where we're currently getting stuck on now. But if you're willing to wait for the market, willing to let it do its thing, you have beautiful runs in this system. So, you know, we could see something like this, or this could still continue to reach that top. So there is the opportunity if you're willing to wait out the consolidation. Okay, let's drop it down to, WTI, obviously we know what's going on in the world right now, the war going on, so we need to be aware this could be affected with that. So still we're not safe from what's going on in the current world situation. Gold, 30-minute time frame, consolidation. Not very nice. Let's jump in onto the hourly. The hourly, again, we can see it's consolidating. All across the board, the markets are reaching monthly and weekly extremes, okay? So this is going to cause the market to consolidate for people to figure out, will it break this extremely strong support or resistance, or is it going to hold? So people are trying to figure it out. Now we have news on top of that as well, okay? So there's a lot going on in the market. 4 hourly time frame, okay? We've been looking at this consolidation zone for gold for a very, very